5 seconds.
Hopefully,
You live.
my
You
screen ain't
live, Rich.
froze. Oh, we
You
live.
live.
Hey, how everybody doing? Yeah, I'm Richard Jones, and I'm here with my boy Michael Anderson. Um, no one, no, and my girl Cynthia Haynes. Now listen, it's no secret that no one was sentenced to death when it comes to what's going on in these correctional facilities all around the country, not just Michigan. But I'm putting a strong foot toward to open up the single cell prisons in Michigan. And what I want done is, whenever there's an outbreak or a pandemic, that those affected go into those single cells until they're not affected anymore. Now, a fact about the COVID that must be made. It didn't start in the prisons and then come out to society. It started in society and worked its way into the prisons. And that's the same thing that can be said when it comes to these nursing homes. Uh, Something should have been done to keep the COVID from going into these prisons instead of allowing the spread. We should not have lost one loved one because of COVID in the prisons, but because it was allowed to not only come into the prisons, it was allowed to circulate. And I feel that most of that circulation problem is because they could not give them the correct amount of spacing. When Michelle Pearson came on, she brought up facts about they didn't have enough personal care items in there to keep it. And then we already know from living outside that pre-existing conditions do not match with COVID. So a lot of loved ones have been lost, sick, barely making it. Family don't even know how they're making it. I just feel that we need to have a more humane ideology when it comes to this. I mean, the problem that with an answer that they give me for why they say lives, I mean, profit over lives is money. If they open up these single cells, it's going to cost them money. Well, I say open up the single cells, lies over profit. So that's why I do that. So we do these shows every Tuesday, and we're going to do them leading all the way up until June the 15th, and that's when we're going to have a rally at the Capitol in Lansing. And we're going to bring everybody that have an injustice against the Michigan correctional facilities. Bring it on. Lift your voice. You got a spot here on Tuesday. Today, we have Michael Anderson, the CEO of Now Radio, whose brother Danny has served 44 years. Good time. Something that most people that can say they served 10 or more years can't say that they served good time. You know what good time mean? That means you went in prison and no matter what was going on, it didn't affect your behavior to where you had a negative outburst or you tried to do something negative or you got caught with something you weren't supposed to get caught with. 44 years of being incarcerated and not having a violation. And then when I heard his whole story, I wrote a song. I had to put a verse in the song about it because of that. So in different ways, Danny's story helped inspire me. And it's just sad that you got people like Michael here that's fighting for their loved ones. That people like Michael shouldn't have to be fighting for their loved ones. His brother should have been home. A lot of us shouldn't have even been locked up.
Huh?
So this is just his way of speaking, and he got an organization called Us Behind the Walls. And I had to bring him on today because he's doing a lot of fighting when it comes to criminal justice reform all around the world. Now, right here on the phone right now, I have his assistant, his Flint assistant, Cynthia Hines. Cynthia, I still got you? Hold on, let me call her right quick. I'm finna call Cynthia Hines because with us behind the walls, she has something going. Cynthia, I'm introducing you right now. Hold on. Well, anyway, Ms. Hines, she's just very instrumental when it comes to us behind the walls, and she been setting up stuff. And I'm just gonna let you. The world can hear you, Cynthia. Go ahead and speak up.
How you doing, Rich? How you doing?
I'm doing real good.
Thank you so very much for having us. I really appreciate it.
I really, like I told you before, that I keep my word. It was tough, but my boy Mick came through with it. I told you, whenever you call, we was gonna do it. Am I right?
Yes,
But you could have called about 4 days. You could have called about 4 days earlier, but me and Mick worked it out. Woo. Yeah, we worked it out. So tell us everybody about, first of all, I want to know, explain to everybody why you're so passionate about prison reform.
Well, my story is my son Donovan Haynes. He was convicted of a crime that they said that he did do, which there's always two sides to every story. I say with bad parenting skills. But the thing that I was so upset about is that they gave him 18 to 30. But it was right before then, another incident happened with another young man. I don't want to call his name because I know his family, and his family was really supportive of me while I was going through my situation with my son. But I do know that he had the Manleys for their attorney. They had the Manleys. And that young gentleman ended up getting 5 to 7.
Yeah.
And my son ended up getting 18 to 30. And I'm never ever would I want to wish anybody, any family member that's go away for such a long time, because you know how when it comes to the Black community, we're over sentenced. We have a lack of representation. And that's been going on for so many years in the Black community. And it's not just the Black community, it's all cultures of race, but I think it hits the Black community hard. And it hit me hard. And I'm not saying there's always consequences for actions, but all I'm asking is for fairness. And I have seen too much of unfair justice system, especially throughout Michigan, especially in Flint. And it was just a time that this is just now the time, because we need this. We need prison reform. We just cannot keep giving our votes away. Mass incarceration affects everybody of all cultures.
Yes, it does.
This is something we're gonna always have to me, in my opinion, we're going to always have to deal with diversity, racism, a lack of equality education, a lack of fair housing, just economy.
So many fights.
But when it comes to mass incarceration, I think a lot of people can agree with me that we want our loved ones home. The prison system was there to reform. So, Rich, do you think that somebody has been incarcerated between, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, even 55 years? Do you think that they have been ready to come back to society? Do you think they are?
A whole lot of them are.
Do you think they're still a threat to society?
Maybe a few, but not as many as they keeping locked up the way they're doing. I'm not. I have always been an advocate for fair sentencing.
I'm advocating for fair. I'm not saying that all should come home, but I think
but a lot of them been done wrong, and see that's what happens. they mixes the good with the bad, and then the conversation stays on the bad, and then the good continue to suffer and be done wrong.
The good continues to get pushed back.
That's what happened on the show earlier today. Soon as we trying to, my thing of it is these people are locked up. They wasn't sentenced to death, and the COVID is killing people. So that's my pet peeve. And this woman want to call in and talk about her loved one got killed. I understand.
Oh yes,
I understand that, but we cannot let them change our conversation to where we're defending the defendants. What we are doing, we are attacking the fact that they are not creating a clean and healthy environment in these prisons during this pandemic. And we can't let them change the story. And that's what they're trying to do already. And it's early in the game.
Exactly. And I want to know where my tax dollars is going. You want to know where yours is going?
Yeah. When I send it to them.
The prison system generate over $1 billion.
Man, and they don't want to open up the single cells and keep these people healthy. Y'all gotta forgive me, I'm close to an airport.
Somebody is getting fat off the hog.
Man.
Somebody getting fat.
Yeah. I think Michael had to take an important phone call, so he is a busy man. Man, y'all think I'm busy, man. I don't do nothing compared to this man. I don't do nothing compared to him.
I'm here. Just
okay,
yeah, can you hear me?
Tell us a little bit of your story. Talk about this radio company and this U.S. Behind the Wall movement that you got going, and it's picking up thanks to Miss Hines. Salute, Sent, and I'm with you. You know it.
Okay. Well, I'll talk about I'll talk about NAB Radio just briefly because that's not my full focus on. Should be on our situation today. We're dealing with a bigger thing. NAB Radio is already $1 million company, so we don't need to focus on that as much as focusing on the issue that we need to deal with in Michigan and throughout the country. The problem that I see as a professional and in the legal profession, that our system is completely broken to the fact that most people get different sentences, different reports when they go into court. I've noticed that when most of the black men go into court, the public defender immediately come in and say the prosecutor have a deal for you. They don't even know their client's name. So we really need to put a watchdog program together so that we can address these issues that the prosecutors is doing. Really, they want the guy to get the best deal, but he also want to make sure that he's getting some type of help from whatever they believe that he did. And unfortunately, if you don't take the deal most of the time, then you're going to be doing a longer prison sentence. So that's not right when the evidence haven't came out. So my position is with this thing is this long incarceration does not work. You can't hold a guy 40 years or 50 years expecting him to get back in society and function. So these long prison sentences with no rehabilitation is a bad situation. And especially in Michigan. Michigan has a very bad of holding people. And I think they use it more for their industry than they use it for anything else because Michigan don't have an industry anymore. Now, it's bad to say it. I'd like to think that's not the truth, but all the signs and telltales are there because there's not many people getting commuted. There's not people getting, they're getting longer prison sentence in Michigan. And they're relying on the federal government to kind of take care of their prison system. So that's why I can speak out because I pay federal taxes, regardless of whether I live in Michigan or not. I pay a lot of federal taxes. So my position is that we need to get the prison system to understand that all these guys been in prison for 30, 40, 50 years. They need to look at those guys and see if they're really ready to be returned to society and return them to society. They will change money because I think Michigan spent about $50,000 for each inmate. It don't cost a person that much money to live on the streets. And affordable housing is not. If he was in California, that's different. But Michigan do have affordable housing. So the position of having people in jail for that long, especially guys like my brother, He's been in for 44 years, and he received one infraction in 44 years, and that was
And that was a weak one. That was a
huh?
weak one. That's why I don't even call it an infraction. That's why I don't even call it infraction, Michael. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But still, if we would just want to call it whatever it is, uh, how can you say that a guy is not have rehabilitated himself when he received one
Man,
infraction,
then
received his bachelor's degree, and have helped educated over 300 people, 300 young men while in there? If he's not a candidate for a consideration, who else is? So I spent a lot of money. I probably spent $250,000 with attorneys trying to get him out. So I decided I'm going to come into Michigan, Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona to change some laws. Started with Michigan, really heavy, because you have a lot of people here in Michigan just almost give up. Almost, he's like, okay, well, this is where we at. This is how life is treated. But that's not the case, because we have taxpayers' money that they're spending. And like I said the other day on my podcast, we never agreed to be their personal investor to run their business. We agreed to pay taxes to run the country, so run the country and state. But I feel like some of these states are using their money for their own alter ego to run and from that, their kids are going to college. They paying their house bill, their light bills, the gas bill, everything. We understand that. But you also was hired as a professional to also take care of things and do the right thing. And even in Michigan, even if we take the prison system out of the equation, it's still very bad to live in Michigan. You got poverty, you got bad housing, you got bad streets, you got bad water. You got everything going wrong. So where's the money going? Where's the money? The government always give money to states that's having problems, and they give Michigan a lot of money because we have a Democratic president, we have a Democratic for these things. So where is the money going? Tell me how is we spending the money on the things we should do? Not just prisons. That's one of the equations. But I hear a lot of things about the streets is bad, the water is bad, the jobs is bad, the houses is terrible. What's going on over there in Michigan? So we need to get to the core. But the main thing is, because our mission is the prison system did not get thrown off. I want to stay focused on that, because I believe that we have the best chance in the world now to make some things change. We have the George Floyd case, which have changed a lot. We have the Breonna Taylor case that changed a lot, and in other cases that have changed some things. But we still need to move to the next level. And like the other thing I said, that we don't need a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X, anything. We have the internet, and with the internet, we can make things happen. I can push a button to 1 million people right now, and they'll hear my message. So this is what I'm saying. The technology is something they can't take away from us. They can try to take the votes, they can try to take this, but they can't take the technology because it's for profit. The people that run it is not going to take it because the government don't like us fighting prison reform. They're not going to take it. So my goal. Go ahead.
Mike, let me ask you a question. So this Us Behind the Walls project that you have put forth, and how is it coming along? And I was trying to get Cynthia to talk about the this event that y'all have. I think y'all got an event coming up in March in Flint. Am I correct? I'm not sure of the date. So try to inform the people about that a little bit too.
Well, to tell you about it's not Us Behind the Walls, it's U.S. Behind the Walls.
U.S. Behind the Walls.
Think about it. When we chose that name because 2.5 million Americans is behind the walls. So the name fits the case. There was a case back in years ago when Ronald Reagan was in office. He said something to Gorbachev, which was running the country, and most of us could be too young, but some of us old enough to remember. He said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall, which he was having these people in bondage over there. So people start tearing down the wall. They physically start tearing down the wall. Well, we're not going to do that. We're just going to use this pen I have in my hand and start writing some laws. That's what we're going to do. So U.S. Behind the Walls was formed for the reason of trying to balance the scales of justice. Not to try to fight the system, not to try to, because we do need the system, but we need to have a fair system. And this is where we at. California is not the best state in the world for criminal justice, but we came a long way. I mean, a long way, which we have a prosecutor now is said, I'm not going to enhance cases just because it's a murder. I'm going to look at the totality of it. He said, I'm not going to leave a person in jail because he don't have $1,000 to get out of bond. We have no cash bond. So he let them go until their court date. And he also said, because he's a gang member, that don't really warrant him just to have a enhancement because of that. We got to look at the totality of the case, whoever it may be. And so a lot of victims thinking, oh, well, he's not doing enough to the people. Well, if you get 15 years, that's enough. That's a lot of time out of your life. If you get 25, that's a lot. But if you're giving a guy a life for a life, that's not, when we say we're a second chance country, that's not how we should be looking at a life for a life. So U.S. Behind the Walls is looking to balance the scales. What we've done, we've ruffled some feathers in Michigan. I know that because we have over almost 500,000 registered voters now following us right now on our website. We did something else that was extraordinary, is that we raised $100,000. I decided to give every dime back because I have a radio station. I'm going to have my major sponsors sponsor. So that's what most organizations can't do. That they can't even raise $100. It's not $100,000. So a lot of them have a problem with U.S. Behind the Walls because we can do that. I have a radio station. I have 53 million listeners that I can just reach out for. If I don't get nothing but $1 from all of those, that's $53 million. If that was the case, But I'm saying that Michigan, these organizations, and no disrespect to them, because I appreciate what they're doing, but they need to sit down at the table like every other government, every other bodies do, and try to work together. They don't want to work together. Yeah. Everybody wants to be their name. They want to take credit. And the other thing is, I'm going to slow down in a minute. The other thing that I had a big problem with, they had this rally back in, I don't know, was it December? Cynthia, when was the rally? Did she hear me?
Cynthia, you still here? I don't know if she done hung up.
Yeah.
No, she's still there. She might have walked away from her phone.
Well, they had this rally about the girls, the women in prison. And this rally, but since that rally, I heard nothing about that rally, and nothing have happened from that rally. Only thing that's happening on that rally is that U.S. Behind the Walls is getting ready to send out $30,000 worth of supplies to these girls that was requesting of stuff. We just had to get approval because they stopped it when we started.
No, I'm sorry, October 14th.
Okay, October the 14th. October, you said? October, November, December, January, February, March, 5 months. And nothing have happened from that. Not even one organization. They said
she said it was October the 14th. I thought she was talking to somebody else. She was talking to us. I had muted her.
It was October the 14th.
Okay.
So that's been almost 5 months.
Right. That was the kind of what that incident right there, that whole sequence leading up to that incident, it kind of what helped me start this No One Was Sentenced to Death, because it's not a lot of people like you out here. Is where you want to listen and you want to help, to where a lot of people just want to concentrate on their issue. And if it ain't about their issue, and then they all got different grievances against this criminal justice system that we have, and there ain't none of them making no progress. So I was like, well, why don't you try to give all of them their own separate voice, and then just bring them all together in one day, and maybe we can make somebody take notice, because it's very frustrating when you speak out and it seems like the people who should be speaking with you ain't speaking with you, and the people who should be hearing you ain't hearing you. It's very frustrating. Mm-hmm. So Mike, y'all got something else coming up here soon, or why don't y'all go ahead and tell everybody about that?
So May 21st.
Cynthia, Mike, which one of y'all want to handle it? I'm good with it.
Okay, could you repeat it again?
I want you to the event that you got coming up in a couple of weeks in Flint?
Oh, yes, I'm doing March the 20th, 4 to 8 at the Misty 50s, Cloud Road. We're doing a women's empowerment event. I got several speakers that will be speaking. I have Councilwoman Tanya Burns from the 6th Ward, Councilwoman Liddell Lewis from 2nd Ward. I have Artisha Boomer. She's out of Detroit, Michigan. She's putting her hand in she's getting the race for governor. I have Kimberly Annette Woodson out of Detroit, Michigan, founder of Redeeming Kimberly. I have a beautiful songstress, Marquita Marjan.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yes. And she's bringing a special guest. I also have Shantae Hill, the lovely Shantae Hill. She will be a speaker. And I think that is about it. I do believe. If I missed anybody, please.
So if I was there, I was gonna be the only man speaker.
The beautiful Sean English.
Oh yeah, you forgot my eyes.
Forgot her. Yes, the beautiful.
Well, at least if you tell me no, at least I can say my team is a part of your thing, because that's my first leg.
Yes, I met her through you. It was an honor. Yes, and
that's my first leg.
Women's empowerment event, and we're having it at Mystic 50s. It'll be March the 20th. I really haven't got all the information. I'll be working on that tonight, and I'll share it with you, Rich. But it's just, I'm gathering up a group of women to discuss the things that mean so much to us. So it's open to everybody, of all colors, of all races. But basically, I really want to target the Black woman. Because right about now, we're the ones out here, and we're the ones holding it down. We're the ones doing all the voting. We're the ones working. We're the ones taking care of the home. We're the ones holding it down, period. And I think sometimes we all need to come and talk to each other, one another, embrace each other, and see what's going on. What can we do all to get together? How can we make, our lives better? And also, how can we develop the community better? And I'm asking for the ladies to come out, and if anybody have any type of ideas, if anybody want to speak or address any type of issue that is dear to their heart, they're welcome. It's just a women's empowerment event. We're going to have food. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be from 4 to 8. I can't even think. Well, it's at the Misty 50s. Everybody knows the lovely Michelle Cooper. And we also want to support our sisters. We definitely need to support each other. And I really want to support Michelle, because Michelle has been a very big supporter of mine. Very big supporter of hers. And I told her when she got this, Michelle had been talking about this, owning her own little club, and as well as mine. Me and her, many times we would sit up and talk about what she wanted to do, and me and my organization, and the Lord brought it to head. And this is what the Lord do. When the Lord do, like when He move you, you have to move, keep on moving, and hopefully we can move other women. We can push them up to their dreams. What makes them happy, and what can they do? Because if the woman is not happy, the home is not going to be happy. If the woman is not happy, the home is not going to be happy.
Happy woman, you're right.
Of the home. And not just the home, the community. So this is what the event is for. And we're to empower. We're gonna lift our women. We're gonna lift our sisters. We're gonna lift each other up.
Now let me cut you off, but let me tell y'all something about Cynthia Hines. This woman marched from the state capitol to the mayor's mansion with me.
Dr. Whitmore's mansion.
When we say we run long, I mean like real talk. I do too much, so I just can't just get in one lane and stay in that lane. But I always come back. And prison reform is something I'm always gonna come back to, and I always know I got somebody to come back and fight with, because Cynthia ain't finna stop fighting.
Look, Rich, and I have to give a shout out to my partner, my roadie is Marjorie Toynes. Her sons are incarcerated. So Marjorie was also she played a big role in putting that together and finding where Governor Whitmore lived at. which we will keep that up under wraps because several people have came to me and they wanted to go back there and do another rally at her house. Several people have came to me. Even some men out of Grand Rapids want to go back to, they want to go to her house. But, you know, I said, well, let's just wait, you know, because I know Governor Whitmore is going through a lot for what I'm hearing. And I don't think she really want to touch prison reform, but I think that she know that she have to because this is something dear and it's time and it's needed.
Sis, the purpose for raising our voices is to make them do something about, because if they really care, we wouldn't have to do this. That's just keep it real. We wouldn't have to be fighting to put an initiative on the ballot if we elected people that had a heart that would write the right legislation to start with. It's people that wrote this illegal legislation. We have elected prosecutors that's giving people 44 years when they should have gave them 2.
But you know what, Rich? Okay, I was watching the news this morning. And I hear that a prosecutor officer is getting what, $4 million, and I guess David Layton just realized how racism that the prosecutor.
It's election time.
Yeah, it's election time. So now
I don't listen to nobody running for office during election time. Show me what you did all these other years. Our prosecutor in Genesee County has a terrible track record when it comes to fairness. When we did our march on the Capitol to where we started at Pearson, I never will forget when AC Dumas called me on, because AC always liked to try to check somebody. So he educated and checking me, and he trying to tell me like, man, did you know Bush and all the other prosecutors, they was dirtier than Layton. I'm like, dirtier than Layton? Well, this is what my mama and my grandparents had to go through? Somebody worse than David Layton?
But look here, we can get him out of there. We can get him out of there, and I commend him now. And I want to say he's never been my favorite person, but again, I guess he got getting $4 million to collect data. Why should you have to collect data? Use that money to help some of these gentlemen get out of prison, or use some of that money to help them gentlemen that he has sent down there in jail. I hear there's still a few that sitting down there for a couple of years. He don't need to collect data. He already knows.
Send them home. Send them home.
What he done and locked all our black men up.
Send them home, sis. Send them home. That's right.
At the end of the day, we just need to vote him out. And if the black people, we all can come together and put Biden in there, we damn sure can get David Layton out.
Pride citizens of Flint, Michigan, y'all are the power of Genesee County, and you're not voting. And these people are constantly getting elected, running over us. Let me tell y'all something. For those that don't vote, and there's a lot of ex-cons, people that duck when they see the police and all that. You know the reason why y'all ducking? It's because these people that elections y'all choose not to participate in are making up these laws and making y'all abide by these laws. So just because y'all don't want to raise y'all voice, that don't mean y'all don't deserve to be heard. Just because y'all don't vote, that don't mean y'all don't deserve to be. I wish y'all would vote, and I really wish y'all would lift y'all voices. We need everybody to lift their voice.
On the ground for this election. This election that's coming up this year is very important. And it's very important to the black community. It's important to all communities, but I stress they don't know how it's important. Flint has so much money coming. And I would love to see it distribute among the things that is necessary, that is needed. All the beautiful things that they're talking about doing, that is fine. But we need to hit the core of why the city of Flint cannot move forward. We need to hit the core of why the families are having such a hard time, why we're not having no housing, why the economy is down, why are we still dealing with overspending. We need to hit. Why is our schools?
Why do we have to bring the issue up? And the only way we can change these crazy laws.
Time after time after time.
Cynthia,
We still got all in there. I don't really want to call their names out, but they know who I'm talking about. We studied putting them in office, but I realized two of them just realized the racism that the black community was going on. How the hell you not know that?
Like I said, Sid, how did you feel about the racism 3 years ago?
The racism in the black community?
Yeah.
But they don't look at that when they come around in our backyard to get our votes. They come around to little certain organizations that we have to act. Anybody that's running for office, they not in the community. They do not need your vote. If you don't see them in the community where they can relate to you, if you don't see their people that with them, their entourage, if they're not in the community, they don't need your vote. I don't care if it's a black woman, a black man, a white woman, or a white man. If they're not in a community where they can't relate to you,
here you go. Yeah.
Let me cut you off for a minute and add in, then I'm gonna give it right back to you. And don't be coming out here talking about like, hey Mike, I need you to help me because I gotta back up what I'm about to say. But don't be coming out here talking about you for prison reform and you don't got no piece of legislation trying to change these laws. You're not walking in and talking about if I get elected, I'm gonna do A, B, C, D. If you ain't coming like that, don't pump fake because this is serious. We are losing lives. I know mothers that are crying, that want to see their babies on this side of the fence before they pass. Real talk. So this ain't no joke. It ain't no time for pump faking. If you don't mean it, don't bring it up. Real talk. Real talk. Now you can finish it. I'm so sorry for interrupting.
You're right, Rich, because if you haven't been out there, believe me, I'm on the ground. And when you're on the ground and when you do right by your community talks to you. They will let you know who they have seen out there in the community. So all these political figures, they want to get on board for prison reform. If you black, I'm pretty sure you know it's been a problem. It's been a problem. But I embrace any political official out there that's trying to run for office. But if you haven't been in prison reform, it looks a little bit shady to me, but we're welcome. We're welcome. Just like everybody got together when it passed this bail running law. Now we need to tackle mass incarceration. And the first three initiatives, revising the promoter board, abolishing felony murder, and I need good time credits to go retroactive. That's included with my lifers, my juvenile lifers.
Sin, I need you.
25 back on the ballot. Right? 20 and 25.
Sin, I need to cut you off again. I'm sorry. But I need you and Michael assistant. I want to help write legislation up to change those, to make amendments to those situations that you just brought up. We got about to end the show because I'm looking dark now. Mike, is there any last words you would like to say? And I really appreciate you. Cynthia, I'm going to bring y'all on in about I'll give it 3 weeks. That way you can have your event and we can have a little bit more build up about what's going on as far as U.S. behind the walls is concerned. So we get, and then we can keep building up on this June the 15th, because June the 15th, we gotta make a strong president, because we're all affected by it. And Mike, once again, man, it's been a pleasure doing this. Mick, thank you so much. And Cynthia, you've been great. Mick, you got something you want to say?
No, brother, I ain't got nothing to say.
I have something to say. Listen, guys out there on this podcast, this is a serious matter, and NAB Radio and US Behind the Walls is up to the fight. We have very strong major sponsors that's up to the fight also. So if you think that you're going to run us away by saying negative things and bad things, think again. It's not going to happen. We're here to stay. Y'all heard that.
Y'all heard that. Well, I'm finna sign off of here because, like I said, y'all can't see nothing but my little glasses now. It's been a great show. I love having you on, Mike. Like I said before, we're gonna do this again in about 3 weeks. And
Okay.
it's been 100%. We're gonna continue to talk every day, continue to call and pick my brain or whatever I can do to help you. I'm always gonna do it. Always have, always will.
Thank you, Richie. Keep running long, brother. You know I support you. You know I support you over the moon and back.
Oh, don't worry. We're gonna make that hole a whole lot bigger. So you're gonna have to use them powerful legs to jump over it with me. Man, I love everybody. Mick, I love you. Thanks for everything. Peace out.
Mr. Anderson, thank you.
Okay, no problem, guys. Thank you. Anytime.
And Mike, don't be surprised if I be giving you a call talking about I need to come down, because this song I got is bad. The hook, the lyrics, the beat. Cynthia can tell you about the beat.
Rich's office is phenomenal. It's all glass. He got a beautiful office. It's all glass. It's all glass. It's beautiful out there. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Go out there and visit them. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Welcome anytime here at Nap Radio.
Yeah. All right, so we signing off here. I see everybody later on. Like I said, we'll be talking because me and you got to do something together before June the 15th. I don't want to wait till June the 15th to try doing something. So we gonna continue. And Mike, I got your back, bro. I got your brother's story. Your brother's story motivated me. It dominated most of the verse.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks a lot. I love to hear it.
Yeah, we gonna put it together. God just making sure that I made a little change. I was rehearsing it last night, right? And I made a little slight 2-word change in it, but those 2 words are powerful.
Take your time, Rich.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because if I would have threw this song together at first, I would have recorded it without them 2 words being in there. And when I tell y'all what them 2 words is, you're gonna be like, Rich, you're right. So God works in mysterious ways, and everything happens for a reason. As long as I'm breathing, and that's on my mind, that's gonna be the next project. Because I don't record all the time. I'm not a recording artist, but everything gonna fall in place. The 2 lady singers is gonna fall in place, and we're gonna knock it out.
Okay,
and it's going to be in time, because it's a song that brings awareness to what we're talking about. The injustice is done. And what I want to do is bring out the way we feel. It ain't all about the prisoners that's locked up. It's the way we feel. It's our hearts, our tears. The people that's locked up ain't the only ones that are affected by this. The loved ones out here is very affected, and we are hurt.
Rich, it affects everybody, and my heart goes out to the victims.
Man.
Yes, I have the victims. I want to apologize to every victim out there that has been hurt by somebody that's incarcerated, that actually did the crime, because we know there are a lot of innocent men incarcerated. But yes, my heart goes out to the victims, and I think about them constantly. And I just want to tell all of them that I love you. If you see me out in the community, come up and talk to me. We can talk. I have several victim activists that I talk with daily, that I do for, and I understand them, and they understand me. You know, all I'm asking for is fairness. That's all we asking. If you do the crime, you should do the time, but let's be fair about it.
If you didn't do the crime, you shouldn't do the time. We gotta stay strong on the wrong side. It's already been a lot of talk about the rightfully convicted. They already taken care of. We gotta take care of the ones who've been wrongfully convicted.
Let me tell you something, Rich. When the rock throwers got off, I knew already that this. I don't even want to say about this, because I never wish anybody child to go away and do life. But when the rock throwers got off, that was it for me. And a lot of people called me and stressed that to me. That was just it for me. But we already knew what was going to happen. You know, and we knew that. But if they would have been black, the story would have been a different.
Man, they tried to get that one black boy for fighting the white boy in the mall. I feel he got hemmed up. I really feel he got a raw deal, and I really wish that I could have interfered with that. I really think he got let down.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that's where the Black community, that's where we all need to come out and stand up and support each other. And we just have to. It's time, because we move mountains. We already know that. We put Biden in office. And yet he's
the most convicted. He locked over half of us up.
That's a lynching bill.
Hey, I gotta hold on, but I gotta end it. But I gotta make this statement, because Brother D brought this to my mind, and he taught me, and I'm gonna keep repeating it. The children of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King have been under attack. The stuff that we are doing is the stuff that they were designing up against. They didn't want to have in their community. I gotta let everybody go because it's past time to end it. Once again, Michael, I appreciate you, and don't worry about it, bro. We coming back in about 3 weeks, and we're just gonna continue to push all the way up until June the 15th, bringing awareness. And I'd like to thank everybody who's supported us, and thank you very much. So let me get off this video so I can find it and share it. I love you.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
All right.